and good afternoon. I am Ogochkuka Ona. You're welcome to Nationwide today, May 12th, 2024. President Bola Tinubu extends his warm congratulations to the President-elect of the Republic of Chad, Mohamed Deby, on his election victory. President Tinubu affirms that the successful conduct of elections in the nation underlines the commitment of the government and the people of Chad to democracy and orderly transitions in the region. The President assures President-elect Deby that Nigeria will continue to work closely with the Republic of Chad as both countries seek to enhance peace, security, and shared prosperity for the mutual benefits of their people. The President also calls for sustained friendly cooperation between both nations while wishing the President-elect success as he undertakes this noble service to the people of Chad. 5 executive orders underway to ensure downtrend of inflation and promote economic growth, among other issues, in a matter of days. This is as the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms meets to consolidate on progress of work on critical reforms. Benny Adams reports.
It has a school. One day she showed me 11 agencies that I can see the
Representing the Vice President of Nigeria, Dr. Aliu Modibo's family is among millions of Nigerians who are victims of more than 60 official and 200 unofficial taxes, levies and dues in Nigeria today. A situation the organized private sector say does not support business growth.
Your administration has a unique opportunity to make a difference so that businesses as corporate citizens will have their rights protected and their businesses guaranteed.
Now, beyond proposals, mechanisms for sustainable implementation is being worked upon.
Up until the end of June, we envisage by the Q3, our documents will be ready to go to the National Assembly, and by the end of that Q3, we should have them enacted into law. But where we have executive orders, directive regulations that don't require enactment into law, like we have a new withholding tax regulation, where small businesses will be exempted from having to deduct withholding tax. That, based on the existing law today, you don't need to enact it into law. We just need the minister to sign. So it's ready. We're waiting for the final signature. We also have a new national tax policy that communicates this direction of our tax system, how we're going to be spending our money. We have a spending policy now, as well as borrowing policy, so that the social contract to the people is delivered to them in a meaningful way.
So far, the grand plan to reducing Nigeria's existing payable taxes from 62 to a maximum of 9 and raking in more revenues for government is being achieved. The esteemed members of the committee, numbering more than 70, say now is that time for the critical reforms bordering on legislation to ensuring sustainable implementation of the proposed amendments. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has reaffirmed his determination to remain focused on improving the welfare of workers to enhance performance for higher productivity. The minister stated this in a message during the post-May Day conference in Abuja. Correspondent Aliyu Kabiru reports.
The conference, with the theme, Impact of Government Policies on Nigerian Workers, Oil Subsidy Removal on Perspective, is geared towards enhancing strategic goal of the renewed hope agenda of improving the welfare of Nigerian workers and Nigerians in general.
One is capability management and talent management. Capability building and talent management, that's the first pillar. The second pillar is performance management system. The other one is innovation. Part of innovation is also thinking out of the box.
Victoria! Other speakers from the Joint Consultative and Negotiating Council, as well as the associations of the Aviation Trade Union, maintain their solidarity towards working together of building a more committed workforce for the overall development of the country. In Abuja, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
Muhammad in Kaduna has more on transportation as we go over to him. Hello, Muhammad, you are on.
Chukuka, thank you for joining us in Kaduna. Following the shortage of power supply impending operations at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, the federal and Kano state governments have concluded plans to provide dedicated line to the airport before the commencement of this year's Hajj airlift. And this was a consensus between the Minister of Aviation Festus Keyamo and Governor Abubakar Yusuf when they visited the airport to assess the level of preparedness ahead of the airlift of intending pilgrims. Yohannes Zuhazambaro reports. Well, we'll take this story in our subsequent bulletin. And moving ahead, Nigeria stands to benefit from African Intercontinental Free Trade Area, with its huge agricultural potential, especially at the subnational level. Presidential Committee on the African Intercontinental Free Trade Area stated this when they visited the Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi Ndusi. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
The team leader, Olusegun Olutayo, says the African Intercontinental Free Trade Area provides a platform for producing countries on the continent to explore large-scale markets with products of high demand. Jigawa State, he notes, is excelling in the production of many crops such as purple hibiscus, sesame seeds, and gum arabic, among many others that African countries need. The state therefore needs to take advantage of that opportunity to boost its economy.
Most times we think that, is big. All you need is to do your own calculation. A small size of that market is enough. It translates in figures into $1 million. And what are you waiting for? Take advantage of it. Secondly, it is also to begin to let people know that outside oil, there is more opportunity in the context of trade.
Governor Umar Namadi says African Intercontinental Free Trade Area is an avenue for investment and Jigawa cannot afford to take a back seat. Rather, it will take advantage of that to promote accelerated growth and development.
For Nigeria not to be on the back seat, those of us from the national must do something, must put an airport. And I want to assure you that Jigawa State is ready to do that. Because doing that, to be to our own benefit, to the benefit of our people, and to the benefit of the country.
With more than 4,000 small and medium enterprises in the country, Mala Umar Namadi advocates they form the beneficiaries of the African Intercontinental Free Trade Areas program to move the nation's economy forward. From Duty, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And that's our contributions from Kaduna. Who now go for some commercial breaks, after which the news continues with Ogochuk.
A combined security operation has rescued some of the students abducted by gunmen at the Confluence University of Science and Technology, Osara, Kogi State. A statement by the Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Femi Fawo, explained that local vigilante men and security agents engaged the kidnappers in a fierce gun battle in the bush, with many of the kidnappers escaping with gun wounds. Some of the students kidnapped and other people in captivity have been rescued and taken to medical facilities for proper attention. Security agents are currently combing the forests to ensure all the kidnapped students are found and brought home safely. He urged residents to report anyone with gun wounds found in their communities to law enforcement agents. The federal government, through the National Secondary School Education Commission, will undertake facility interventions in secondary schools in Kogi State. This commitment was announced in Lokoja by the Commission's Executive Secretary, Iyale Ajayi, during a need assessment tour of the affected schools. Correspondent Solomon Ayedein reports.
The National Secondary School Education Commission is dedicated to nurturing senior secondary graduates equipped with essential life skills. This commitment entails comprehensive regulation of senior secondary education in Nigeria, prescribing and ensuring minimum standards, and managing national senior secondary education funds. The Commission also conducts needs assessments of all senior secondary schools in Nigeria to inform government interventions. In pursuit of this mandate, the Executive Secretary of the Commission, Iyale Ajayi, embarked on a tour of selected secondary schools in Kogi State to gain first-hand insight into their condition. Subsequently, he inspected facilities at the GYB Ultramodern Secondary School in Adan Colonial Layout, Lokoja. The team also conducted an on-the-spot assessment of Crowder Memorial College in Lokoja, examining the school's structures and amenities.
The federal government is committed to the provision of quality education, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that is why the present government is committed to the provision of quality education.
We are quite hopeful, we are expectant.
Throughout the tour, the officials reaffirmed their dedication to elevating the standard of secondary education in Kogi State. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
Now, following her declaration 2 years ago of having 43% Nigerian DNA, Duchess of Success Meghan Markle received a grand welcome in the fold. Deborah Balagbobo reports that the event was at a reception in honor of the Duke and Duchess of Success.
We hope you're going to wear sometime.
Leadcom boss there presenting the Duke and Duchess of Sussex with the traditional attire from the West, the popular Ashoike. Abike Dabiri Erewa, while commending the Duke for his laudable initiative of the Invictus Game, expressed delight that the Duchess accepted her motherland and hoped that she would also contribute her quota to the growth and development of the nation.
The commission set up by the Nigerian government to harness the enormous potentials of Nigerians in the diaspora, which of course includes you, our beautiful princess. And we welcome you home today. It's your first visit, but hopefully not your last visit. And we hope you come back home again and again and again.
By uniting our efforts, we can make remarkable progress in acknowledging the sacrifices made by our military personnel.
Various speakers also commended the Duke and Duchess for the rehabilitation of wounded servicemen of the force who have served their nation. The pair are in Nigeria to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Game, founded by the Duke himself, with 23 nations involved in 2,500 communities. 5 Invictus Games have been held so far. Deborah Balagogo, NTA News.
We have more on the visits of Prince Harry and Meghan to Nigeria as we link up with Adiola in Lagos.
Chukwuka. Now, in continuation of his 3-day visit to Nigeria to promote the Invictus Game, the Duke and Duchess of Success, Prince Harry and the wife Meghan, have inspired students of Ilupeju Grammar School, Lagos, to take advantage of a game of basketball to pursue their dreams of becoming great in life. The royal couple are partnering with the Giant of Africa Basketball Initiative to teach more children the basics of the game and also develop basketball facilities across the country. Gift Judge reports.
A rousing welcome for the royal couple at the Ilupeju Grammar School basketball court in Lagos, built by the Giant of Africa Initiative. The visit of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is in collaboration with the Giant of Africa Basketball Initiative, which seeks to empower and inspire young Africans to pursue their dreams using basketball as a platform.
The power of sport can change lives. It brings people together and creates community, and there are no barriers, which is the most important thing. So myself, my wife, as we walked in, I think we saw that knowledge is power, which is a very, very true thing.
The initiative, apart from ensuring the young basketball players and physically challenged learn the fundamentals of the game, also helps to build more basketball facilities across the country.
When I look at Prince Harry and his commitment, to youth, when I look at what Prince Harry and Princess Meghan are doing, they are encouraging youth, they are uplifting communities, right? And he's not just saying it, he's not just coming here, he does the Invictus Games, and he's been doing this for years, which really promotes disabled athletes. and for me to see that, and for us to even have this little opportunity to have kids here on wheelchair, it pushes even more.
Prince Harry, the Duchess of Sussex, and the Princess of Sussex, Meghan. I cannot believe it. I know better things are still going to happen in Ilupeju Junior Grammar School.
It's like knowledge is power, and sports can take us anywhere in life. And also, this can make us succeed in life, especially to pursue more.
The royal couple are in the country to promote the Vicious Game, a sporting event that supports wounded military soldiers and veterans. In Lagos, Gift George, NTA News.
What an inspiration there for the young ones. Moving on. Boosting Nigeria's agricultural sector and empowering the younger generation to attain the status of employers of labor is what the Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology represents. This was evident as another 740 youths took the oath of allegiance for the 2023-2024 matriculation academic session of the college in Lagos. Lane Leneke reports.
This procession by the academic staff of the college and matriculating students heralded the commencement of another academic year for these 740 students, indicating their formal admission into the college.
As our great ambassadors, I earnestly urge you to hold one another to the promise of honorable conduct.
With the slogan, Pride of the Nation in terms of fish and maritime manpower development, the college provides requisite knowledge on maritime studies, placing the country and college at an advantaged position to develop aquaculture and boost the nation's gross domestic product.
With this indigenous grooming of our own marine engineers or seafarers or marine captains and other scientists, most of the capital flight that will be going out of Nigeria will be domesticated in the country.
The Minister of State for Agriculture, who was represented, encouraged the matriculating students to take advantage of marine sciences as it is fast becoming key to economic growth.
Getting the students to have hands-on entrepreneurship training will boost their capacity to sit back and help the country in aquaculture and fisheries.
You are here to put in your best. I want to see you stand out like the ones who had a handshake with the provost.
My determination is to graduate as a board student in my department.
I plan to create more job opportunities for our students.
Fisheries technology, marine engineering, oceanography, and many more are some of the available courses at the Federal College of Fisheries and Marine Technology. Established in 1969 as a vocational institute for Nigerians in shore fishing fleet, the college was upgraded in 1992 to a technological institute. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
And those other...
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of NTA, and welcome to Ibadan. The Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has reaffirmed the commitment of his administration to solve many developmental issues facing the state. Governor Adeleke made the pledge while flagging off Lagiri Flyover Bridge in Ile-Ife. Rotimi Akamo's report is here presented.
Bridge in Ile-Ife. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke reaffirmed his administration commitment to make life meaningful through the provision of infrastructural amenities to all the local governments in the state.
In the multi-billion naira agenda, we embark specific projects for this Asian city. Many are ongoing and more are still coming.
Earlier in his remark, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwuse, while receiving the governor at his palace and addressing the public at the Lagiri reduction in Ile-Ife, commended Governor Adeleke of his formidable conduct, while, according to the monarch, has reflected in all the nooks and crannies of the state. Many people who spoke at the occasion urged Osun State government to extend our programs to other sectors of the economy.
Very gigantic project that His Excellency Jackson Nuruddin Adeleke decided
to put a soft perennial problem, Ife, is a very, very worthwhile program.
The Nigeria flyover bridge, when completed, will, among other things, ease free flow of traffic and facilitate connectivity of many areas of Ile-Ife.
Training of Federal Road Safety Corps paramedics and patrol operatives is pivotal to reducing mortalities following road crashes. This was brought to the fore at a capacity building program for FRSC paramedics and patrol operatives in Ibadan. Lukman Hassan tells us more.
The training involves prompt response and proper handling of crash scene, as well as management techniques in resuscitation of victims. The resource persons urge the participants to be fully alert in control of the situation, stressing that road safety officials should key into the federal government's zero tolerance to high mortalities in Nigeria.
We want the people to be rescued properly, the way it's done worldwide, done by paramedics. When FRC staff are called upon, they can rescue people properly so worsen their condition.
That all the Federal Road Safety Corps members discharge their duties in preventing accidents and ensuring that our roads are safe.
The Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Aliubi, represented, explained that the training of the paramedics and patrol operatives will go a long way in making sure that loss of lives of victims of road crashes must be brought down to the barest minimum.
They use equipment that are modern to see where crash victims are trapped in an accidental vehicle, to professionally and quickly remove them without further harm to the victim.
This training given to the paramedics and patrol operatives, in fact, they are the most closest to these victims, because each time there are crashes on the road, we expect paramedics. That's why you have zebra.
Supported by Ford Foundation, the capacity building for paramedics and patrol operatives has about 80 personnel of the FRSC across the Southwest in attendance. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
Those are the latest reports from Ibadan at this hour. Nationwide continues with Ogochukuka in our Abuja studios.
Thank you, Larry, and still staying with you on your network station. Osun State government is taking intervention steps in the transport sector by ensuring that only safe vehicles are the ones plying its roads. Governor Ademola Adeleke stated this while inspecting a computerized inspection center to test roadworthiness of vehicles in Osogbo, Osun State capital. Femi Afariogun reports.
The RISE testing center in Osun State will test the roadworthiness of vehicles before issuing vehicle papers and allowing them to ply the road, and it also assists motorists to detect faults in the vehicle with the use of modern technology. Inaugurating the center, Governor Ademola Adeleke says Osun is following international best practices, hence the need to establish the center to reposition the transport sector in the state.
It focuses on connectivity within and outside the state. Osun is centrally located in the heart of Yoruba land. Hence, our transport plan and policies will enhance leakage on transnational level.
The public-private partnership program will generate revenue for the state government and provide employment opportunity for youths.
It's a two-lane center and it's just the beginning. The two center you are commissioning today, Your Excellency, is going to employ nothing less than 30 of our engineers. Motorists who want to travel a long distance can also visit the center for the roadworthiness of their vehicle.
Similar centers have been established across southwestern part of Nigeria. In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
And from Osogbo, we go over to Kaduna, where we are telling you that following erratic power supply impeding operations at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, federal and state governments of Kano have concluded plans to provide dedicated line to the airport before the commencement of this year's Hajj airlift. This was the consensus between the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, and Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf when they visited the airport to assess the level of preparedness ahead of the airlift of intending pilgrims. Yahana Su Hassan Barao has the details.
The prompt intervention of the minister and Kano State Governor was as a result of complaint of power fluctuation at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, which continued to hinder smooth operations. Constant power supply to the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport remained critical to allow smooth takeoff and landing, as well as enhancing other activities.
Sometimes the failure and success of Hajj operations is judged by what happens in Kano. But the government here has stood tall. They have assisted us in many ways before in the past, and we still count on their cooperation this time around.
They have requested for a dedicated line to the airport, which is very much in order, and it's something that needs to have been done earlier than now. We assured the minister that we will do whatever it takes.
The maiden visit of the minister, Festus Keyamo, is to assess the state of the facilities installed at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport preparatory to the commencement of the fourth Hajj airlift. He also inspected landed property belonging to the Federal Airport Authority to obtain first-hand information on the state of facilities. The minister was received by Deputy Governor Comrade Abdul Salam Aminu, where he pledged closer working relationship with the Ministry of Aviation. In Kano, Yohana Hassan-Baro, NTA News.
A 75-year-old man alongside an old woman of the same age have been arrested for allegedly dealing in illicit drugs as operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) intercept 3 trailer loads of opioids comprising thousands of pills and bottles of codeine syrup at Amuwo Dolphin local government area of Lagos State. Sawa Khalil Ibrahim reports.
The multi-billion naira consignments were loaded in 3 trailer trucks comprising 3,450,000 pills and 344,000 bottles of codeine syrup at a warehouse in Abuja, where NDLEA officers eventually arrested the suspect in connection with the seizure on Thursday, 9th May 2024. Similarly, another 160 liters of codeine syrup were recovered from 2 different suspects on the same day in Lagos State. NDLEA operatives on Saturday, 11th May, raided the Igwe Forest in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State, where more than 11,000 kilograms of cannabis was destroyed on 3 farms measuring 4.65 hectares, while additional 188 kilograms of the same psychoactive substance was recovered and a suspect arrested during the overnight operation. A 75-year-old grandpa was on Friday, 10th May, arrested with 7.5 kilograms of cannabis in Ekiti State during a raid operation, while a 70-year-old grandma was nabbed with 15.6 kilograms of same substance on Thursday, 9th May, during a raid in Makurdi, Benue State. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Let's now join Obehi in Benin for security updates. Obehi, it's over to you.
Ogochuka, welcome to Benin. In a significant move to tackle the rising crime rates in Edo State, the Acting Director of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Benin Zonal Office, Efa Okim, announced that Edo State ranks second only to Lagos in the National Cybercrime Index. He made the statement during his courtesy visit to the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ Edo State Council. Joy Egbo completes the report.
The acting head of Edo Zonal Office of EFCC highlighted the urgent need for collaboration between the EFCC and journalists to address issues such as cybercrime and other criminal activities, particularly those involving the youth. He expressed his concerns over the disturbing trend of youths engaging in cybercrime and money rituals. While condemning the growing quick-rich mentality, he called on parents to play a more active role in guiding their children against such vices. Okim also responded to the criticisms following the recent conviction of an individual for abusing the national currency, emphasizing that such acts contribute negatively to societal values.
The law is too great in the Nigerian history to be reduced to that level in criminality. I have come to demonstrate to you that I am ready to partner with you to ensure that we come this madness.
NUJ Chairman Festus Aleke assured the EFCC of the journalists' support in combating crime, stressing the media's role in educating and informing the public.
So this note, I'd like to request my colleagues to please brief up reportage of EFCC activities in Edo State. But the best way we can achieve this is when you avail us of some of the information.
This partnership aims to enhance efforts to ensure safety and uphold law and order in Edo and its neighboring states. In Benin, Joy Egbu, NTA News.
And still on security, 12 suspects are currently in police custody for different offenses ranging from murder, armed robbery and malicious damage. The Commissioner of Police, Edo State Command, Funsho Adigboye, while parading the suspects, advised parents to take the safety of their children and wards seriously. The report.
One of the suspects was arrested after the Command Intelligence Rapid Response Squad received a complaint through a petition stating that some unknown armed men invaded a concrete pole company, made away with 2 electrical transformers, 1 long scanner truck, and 12 tires to unknown destination. Immediately, the operatives swung into action, which led to an arrest in Onitsha. Also paraded were the suspected killers of one Faith Omodion, a 200-level student of Delta State University, Agbo, who went to the farm with a Lifan CG125 motorcycle and never returned. After a preliminary investigation, the suspects confessed to being sent by one Chukwunyeme Jonah, 26 years, and a native doctor to kidnap her to enable them collect ransom from her rich father with the promise of paying them 30,000 naira.
Yeah, they follow us the drug for good. Now we come kill her with her.
The father of the deceased wants justice.
I'm not very happy as cooking my daughter at the good school. I want government to handle it. And they wait, you do something, they will face it by itself.
We want to appeal to members of the public to know where they are going to send their children and what. There is nothing bad in sending children out, but because of the deadly activities of some notorious hoodlums, heartless, we should please be guided by these.
The Commissioner of Police, Funsho Adeboye, harped on the need for citizens to remain security conscious. In Benin, Joy Egbo, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Okochuka Ona in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Obey, there. And from security matters, we move straight to politics. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, at its 586th meeting in Abuja, has called for unity and reconciliation among its various stakeholders. This is coming ahead of the forthcoming governorship election in Edo State. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Following what the People's Democratic Party described as successful National Executive Committee meeting recently, 2 major tasks now ahead: governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states. Debo Ologuagba, the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, said the NWC enjoined all leaders, stakeholders and teaming members of the party in Edo State to, in the overall interest of the people and the party, close ranks and work together for the success of the forthcoming governorship election in the state. The NWC, he noted, considered the reaction and or statement credited to the National Vice Chairman South-South, Chief Danobi, on the membership of the Edo State Governorship Election Campaign Council and that after a thorough review of the issues and in the spirit of unity and reconciliation, the National Vice Chairman South-South, despite his initial displeasure over the constitution of the Edo State Campaign Council, reconsidered and accepted his inclusion and membership of the Campaign Council. NWC urged the people of Edo State to continue in their support and solidarity for the party and governorship candidate Asue Ighodalo.
All party members to continue to work together for the success of the party, for the benefit of Nigerians, and the sustenance of democracy in our country.
The National Working Committee, NWC, also during the meeting revisited the issue of the Ebonyi State Caretaker Committee and reconsidered the imperatives of bringing all stakeholders of the party in the state together. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The National Population Commission is strategizing on how to meet demographic demands that will facilitate progress of all major themes of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, for Nigeria. NPC Chairman Nasiru Issa Kwara said this at a retreat in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State to re-examine the status of the country's long-awaited population and housing census at the management retreats. Olusheye Adeagbo reports.
Nigeria has over time been faced with substantial demographic challenges, and here, the management of the National Population Commission, NPC, from the 36 states of the Federation and FCT, joined by the members of the Senate Committee on National Identity and Population, wants to critically stray standard operational procedures in generating demographic data for national planning purposes.
The Commission is contending with a rising national and international expectation for accurate and relevant data for the purpose of planning and policy making against the backdrop of dwindling resources. This retreat, therefore, offers practical solution on repositioning the Commission for optimal performance. And comprehensive population data in the fabric of effective governance cannot be overemphasized. And our presence here today signifies a collective dedication to these values.
They need to be on top of whatever the Commission has done in the past. And also the Commission is trying to dust and see what we can do better for our census and for other activities of the Commission.
Continued advocacy to mobilize resources required to execute a new national head count for Nigeria, first time in 18 years, tops resolutions as the day one of the retreat. Olusheye Adeagbo, NTA News.
Priority must be given to the welfare of nurses for optimum productivity and the overall health benefit of the Nigerian populace. This advocacy sums up the theme for the 2024 International Nurses Day, which is Our Nurses, Our Future, the Economic Power of Care. Evelyn Bado Epu reports.
International Nurses Day is commemorated every year on May 12th. To mark the contributions that nurses make to society. That of 2024 focuses on the economic power of care, which creates healthy people and societies and drives healthy economies, as highlighted by the International Council of Nurses. The aim is to reshape perceptions and demonstrate how strategic investment in nursing can bring considerable economic and societal benefits.
That theme is very apt to open the eyes of the leaders to the valuable contributions of nurses to the healthcare system, and of course help them to think on how to invest in nurses.
Given Nigeria's situation where nurses and other healthcare professionals are seeking greener pastures abroad, what is the way out?
More employment of health workers, especially nurses, for the grassroots health centers, even at state and federal. The number of nurses that we have now is very, very low.
The take-home pay of any nurse in Nigeria cannot take that person home with the current economic situation. So I feel it is time government look into this situation to enhance the pay package for nurses.
Nurses are therefore asking policymakers, healthcare administrators and the public to consider the effect of adequate investment and funding of the healthcare professionals. Evelyn Badu-Ekpo, NTA News.
It is a new dawn for the health sector. With a renewed vigor of assumption of office, Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised to reposition the health sector to meet the needs of the citizens at all levels. Almost 1 year in office, how far so far? Health correspondent Sawa Khalil Ibrahim gives us an assessment.
First, a team of experts appointed to man the health and social welfare sector. Their assignment is to address maternal and childbirth challenges as well as affordable and quality health services for all Nigerians.
Over the last 1 year, it's evident that they've put in their best to see that they move the health sector from where it was to a better place. There's now interrelationship between the agency, the authority, and health maintenance organizations, for example. So all hands are now on deck.
Policies were made and programs launched, one of which is the Health Sector Renewal Compact with 36 state government and development partners. And to walk the talk, 50 billion naira was committed into the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, all to improve healthcare outcomes. So far, over 550,000 women now attend their first antenatal care to improve their pregnancy outcomes and reduce child and maternal mortality. Despite the issues of brain drain in the sector, 2,497 doctors, midwives, nurses, and CHUs were recruited to fill the gap. Interestingly, some health workers who left are returning. Health sector is one of the focal areas of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, with the promise of a renewed health care delivery in the country. In Abuja, Sawa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
We'll now bring you sports update with Suleiman Musa.
We begin with golf. As part of activities to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the Nigerian Military School Zaria, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, has called on the Nigerian military to uphold discipline, knowledge, patriotism, and dedication as they continue in the fight to keep Nigerians safe from internal and external aggression. The Chief of Naval Staff made the call at the ceremonial tee-off of the golf tournament at the TYB International Golf Course, Abuja, aimed to mark the day.
Something that we started with right from military school, and right now even in the service is still a major aspect of our training. It's also a major aspect of ensuring that we keep fit.
The military, I can say without contradiction that we have been the major promoters of golf in Nigeria, because if you interview most of the golfers you see around, it will not be unlikely that most of them started in military golf courses.
To badminton, as the Badminton World Federation has confirmed that multiple African men's singles champion Onuoluwapo Opeori has qualified for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Opeori, who is a two-time African Games champion, made history by becoming the first Nigerian badminton player to make it to the Olympics back-to-back. Opeori dominated Africa in the men's singles from 2019 till date, winning 4 African Championship titles and 2 African Games titles. And to basketball, Nigerian champions Rivers Hoopers have sealed the qualification ticket to the Basketball African League BAL playoffs in Kigali, Rwanda. The Kingsmen sealed the qualification ticket after they snatched it in overtime to secure a playoff spot with a 78-71 final score win over APR of Rwanda to record their 4th win in the Sahara Conference in Dakar, Senegal. The great feat by the Kingsmen ensured that they became the first Nigerian team to get to the BAL playoffs after winning 1 game in their inaugural edition in 2021. And finally, after picking 2 draws in the last 2 games against Lesotho and Zimbabwe, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will face Bafana Bafana of South Africa and Cheetah of Benin in the final rounds of games for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. The Eagles, under the newly appointed coach Finidi George, will open camp on the 1st of June in Uyo. With Sport Update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
And as the news, I am Ogochkuka Ona, thanking you on behalf of the director and the entire production crew.